It's been a while, and I'm excited to be back. This week, we are talking about canceled cruises, port changes, and more. Ahoy, travelers. It's Amy here with your weekly Cruise News Roundup and my thoughts on some of the biggest stories of the week. We have talked about this before, but how would you feel if your cruise was canceled because the line sold out your itinerary in favor of a charter cruise? Well, guests on a 2026 Carnival Liberty cruise were notified this week that their sailing had been canceled. We are very sorry to inform you that the ship has been chartered and your cruise has been canceled. Our team is ready to discuss options and rebook you on another Carnival cruise right away. Guests were given several alternatives that are available to replace the April 26th, 2026 departure. The line has advised guests that their cruise rate is protected on a comparable sailing in a similar accommodation. $100 per stateroom, not per person, per stateroom onboard credit will also be applied to that new sailing. While guests are getting a little over a year to find a new sailing, I will once again say that I don't think cruise lines should be doing this. I know we usually book our cruises like 2 years in advance. So if you're trying to find a new sailing on the same date, you might have to pay more if you're going from an older ship, something older and smaller like the Liberty, to something new like the Jubilee. I'm not sure if that's going to be considered in this similar accommodation, as sailing on the Jubilee are going to cost more. It's a bigger ship. Do they consider that the same accommodation? Or does it need to be on a very similar ship? I don't know. I've said this before, but I think any charters should be done prior to a cruise going on sale to the public. If a large company wants to charter an entire ship, they should be making those plans enough in advance that they're not affecting the average cruiser. Thankfully, this doesn't happen too often. Have you ever had a cruise canceled because your ship was chartered out? Let me know. Let me set the scene for this next story. You're relaxing on your balcony as your ship sails the Mediterranean and you notice a disturbance in the water. Is it a dolphin? A whale? What? Is that a nuclear submarine? Okay, so no one actually saw a nuclear submarine, but guests on board the Celebrity Apex and Saga Cruises Spirit of Adventure were warned by an environmental organization that the UK's Royal Navy had docked its nuclear-powered submarine, the HMS Astute, in Gibraltar's military port on March 15th of this year. With both ships planning on being in the area just days later, that environmental group felt that a warning was necessary since nuclear submarines emit low levels of radiation. Gibraltar must decide whether it wants a military port or a tourist port. The UK nuclear-powered submarine HMS Astute docking in Gibraltar's military port on March 15, 2025 puts the ROC's tourism sector at risk. During a previous docking, the group called the submarine a floating bomb. Like cruise ships, submarines are required to surface when they enter the territorial waters of a country. With Gibraltar being a UK territory, the Royal Navy offers a military port for its ships, including submarines. Gibraltar is not the only cruise port near military operations. Pearl Harbor, San Diego, Sydney, and Portsmouth all have military ports nearby. Even Kiel, Germany, where we boarded our cruise on the MSC Euribia, is included in that list. Now, studies around naval bases and shipyards where nuclear submarines are docked show that radiation levels are very minimal and are within safety zones. Is this something that you're concerned about? Nuclear is one of the safest forms of energy out there. So while I wouldn't want a nuclear power plant in my backyard, mostly because it would be an eyesore, I have no issue docking next to a nuclear-powered sub. Well, Haiti is off the list for celebrity cruises. That's right, Royal's private resort at LeHavre will no longer be a stop for upcoming celebrity cruises from the end of this year through the spring of 2026. Now, while the line has denied such claims, many cruisers have suggested the change is in response to President Trump's proposed travel ban, which would impact 43 countries and would restrict travel in Haiti. A letter from the line to cruisers said, "To provide you with a better experience, we have made the decision to cancel our visit to Labadee, Haiti, with some itineraries replacing the stop with a visit to Grand Turk and others with Grand Cayman." The civil unrest in Haiti caused Royal Caribbean to stop porting in Labadee for several months in 2024, but they eventually returned to the private resort, stating that the 260-acre destination is safe, with Royal Caribbean continuing to make stops in Labadee and even showing several ships stopping there on the days that Celebrity has canceled their stops. The mystery continues. Haiti has been in a state of emergency since March of 2024 and is currently under a level 4 do not travel advisory from the U.S. government. And that's the most severe, highest advisory category there is. Personally, I would avoid boarding any cruises stopping in Labadee, despite having recently stopped in the Dominican Republic, which shares an island with Haiti. Now, despite sharing a landmass, the DR is only at a level 2 advisory. So what about you? Would you question booking a cruise that's stopping in Labadee? Let me know. Easter is just around the corner, and Carnival recently announced a special Easter menu that's going to be available for Easter dinner on their ships. Special dishes include deviled eggs as an appetizer and a spiced Easter parfait for dessert. Of course, the menu is much larger than that, includes standard options, but there are a few special options, including honey mustard glazed ham as an entree choice. So would you go for the deviled eggs if you were sailing Carnival on Easter? I love a good deviled egg, but it always seems like a strange choice for a religious holiday to me. We're going to serve deviled eggs on Easter. Oh well. Well, it has been a while since I put out a video. Now, I have filmed videos, but due to audio issues, I wasn't able to post them. I'm still trying to figure out when to work on and post a weekly news roundup video, or if I should even continue trying to do them. Some weekends I have plenty of time to research, write, record, and edit a video. On other weekends, I have a lot going on, and it becomes very hard to find the time to get all that completed. Not having a set time when I know that I can sit down and work on things makes it hard. And then not having a set time when I need to have the videos posted means I put stuff off until I get nothing done, which is why I didn't get this posted until later than usual. So I really do need a set day and time on my calendar. I guess these are the issues that those of us who try to do this on the side while still having a full-time job have to deal with. Next weekend, I'm going to be out of town all weekend, so I have no idea if and when I will have time to make a video. But now I have the audio fixed, I hope. So I'm going to have to sit down and figure something out. Right now, I'm leaning towards recording after church on Sundays with plans to post them on Sunday evenings. I used to post on Sunday evenings, and I got away from that because Sundays are not great for me. I'm busy, but hopefully if I post them, if I have everything written and ready, I can sit down after church, record the video, and then get it ready for that evening. We'll see. Well, I told you guys on the last video several weeks ago about the duck I found walking on my county road. So I thought I would give a little update. I did have somebody ask for one. I kept her in a quarantine pen for about a week before moving her to a small coop that has a short run. When I went to move her, it was obvious that she had gotten her groove back and was no longer content to just let me carry her around without attempting to escape. So I decided to call her Stella because Stella got her groove back. Shout out to anyone who gets that reference. I shut her up in that coop for the night, and then I let her out the next morning. I knew that she could fly out if she wanted to because there's just some short fencing around the coop. I usually use it as for baby ducks. They can't fly. So I knew she could fly out, but she was still there when I got home that evening. But when I went to put all the birds up less than 2 hours later, I couldn't find her. I assumed that she'd flown out and taken off. About an hour after I let the birds out the next morning, I saw her in the yard. No idea where she had been all night. And when I went to put the birds up again that night, I couldn't find her again. But after some searching, I finally located her in the chicken coop. She was tucked away behind a ladder, and you just couldn't, she was hard to see where she was. So apparently that's where she's been, and that's where she's been going every night since. Unfortunately, my other ducks won't have anything to do with her. At first, they were pretty scared of her and would run away from her. Now, they just don't really, I guess they're not including her, or she doesn't want to be included. I don't know. They also seem to run a lot faster than her, so they trot off to the front yard and she's just left behind. Eventually, I would like to get her to go into the duck coop at night, but for now, she's fine in the chicken coop. I just know that she's probably getting pooped on by the chickens overnight. Although I do feel sorry for her that she doesn't have any duck friends. I plan on hatching out some ducklings this spring, so maybe some of them will like her and want to be around her. Speaking of hatching things, I currently have almost 40 eggs in the incubator. They should hatch next weekend, so for a few weeks, they're going to be housed in the room next door. So you may start hearing some peeps and cheeps for the next few weeks. I don't plan on keeping all of this batch, as some are going to my mom's house, and I have a friend who's getting started raising chickens and has requested a few once they're fully feathered out and can be on their own. However, I am planning a coop rebuild that will more than double the size of my current coop. I expect that I'm going to have several hens go broody this spring and summer. They do every year, and I want plenty of room to add some new hens to my flock. My egg production's kind of gone down. Some of my chickens are getting old. Well, are you ready for more information on cruising? Why not stick around and check out this video and then come back for more information designed to help you have an amazing cruise. Have a blessed week, everyone.